Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Us Boxing. Back again with another one for you guys. We got some news and notes, and then we got some fight results that we want to cover for the last couple of days. We want to touch on it. Before I get into it, I want to salute everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Join into the conversation. Drop your comments, man. It's all appreciated and accepted. Let's get it. Before I get into it, let me check out this comment. Salute to everybody. KD in the building. What's good with you? What's good, bro? Salute. Ivan LD, what's good with you? What's good? What's good? All right, so got some some results for you guys. We're gonna start with we had a fight card yesterday in Canada. I'm not sure if everybody was tapped in with it. This was Eye of the Tiger. I think it was in Montreal, and they had it on the Boxing Grace, BoxingGrace.com. If you guys missed it, it was they got some solid names on the card. So the main event, we had an upset. Andre Gramont, he lost to Ramadan Hussein. He lost to him by decision. He got dropped in that fight too. And Gramont was supposed to be like an up and coming middleweight, kind of like a French contender type of deal. But he actually lost, so you know what I'm saying, he can come back. That was a setback for him. Amon Katiev, the light heavyweight, the one who fought David Morrell in his last fight, which I thought he actually beat David Morrell. He got a body shot stoppage win in the third round. He stopped Adam Danis with a nice little body shot, you know what I'm saying? And then Vanessa LePage Janice, she got a win. That was Vanessa's the one that was coming off the knockout loss to Claressa Shields when she lost a heavyweight title. So she bounced back and got her a win. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was last night up in Canada. Today, we had a long ass card up in Dubai. We had like 10, 11 fights. That card lasted forever. But we got the results in for Pulev versus Gassiev. Like I said, it was a long card. Notable people on this card. Nico Ali Wash, he got a win, but he looked like he always looked. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Nico is like we already know he's a novelty act, and he's only around because his granddad was Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But he got the win though. On the main card, let me see. Talani Mbij, he got stopped like in the third round. That Musev kid stopped him, the southpaw, got him up out of there. That was a welterweight fight. Arjabar got his revenge. He beat Munoz by Munoz. He beat Munoz by decision. He got knocked out earlier this year. It was a crazy knockout loss too. Um, Asimov, he beat Maxie Hughes. Maxie Hughes got off to a good start. He won like the first 5 or 6 rounds, and then he started to fade. It was a body shot that hurt him like in the 6th round, and he slowed down after that. And then the WBA heavyweight title fight with Pulev and Gassiev. Now I know that confused a lot of people. It can confuse people because we know Usyk is the unified champion in heavyweight, right? But this is a regular title, so this is like the secondary title. So Pulev came in as the champion. It was a typical type of fight of Pulev. He actually was winning the fight. He got caught with a nasty left hook, and Gassiev stopped him in the 6th round. The left hook was nice. It was nice. Here were the scorecards, though, at the time of the stoppage. So Pulev was up on all 3 scorecards. I mean, Gassiev wasn't really doing much. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really doing too much. He just loaded him to sleep and him with that left hook, and he was up out of there. So Gassiev is the new WBA regular champion. You know what I'm saying? Heavyweight champion. Now he has to fight. Moses Atama. Now Moses Atama is about to fight Jermaine Franklin January 24th in the UK. If he wins that fight, the WBA is going to order Gassiev versus Moses. That's gonna be a lot of fireworks right there because both guys can punch. Gassiev is a former unified a unified champion at cruiserweight. He lost his 2 titles to Usyk when Usyk became undisputed at cruiserweight. So Gassiev always been able to punch, and he got Pulev up out of there. So that shit was nice. That was a nice knockout too. Marta Prince, what's good with you? Do you have? He said, "Do you have to give a paid description to watch that card?" Nah, I watched it on YouTube. Well placed left hook. Yeah, that left hook was nice. So yeah, Gassiev. You know what I'm saying? Salute to him. All right. So now some news and notes in the sport of boxing. Y'all feel free if it's something on or off topic you want to talk about. Feel free drop in the comments, man. We can speak on it too. So let's talk about Shakur Foster, right? Shakur Foster, a couple of so last week he won the WBC interim title at lightweight against Fulton. So we know that fight was originally scheduled for his title at 130 pounds. We know Fulton missed weight. The PBC requested to fight for the lightweight interim title, so that's what they put on the line so the fight can go on. And Shakur Foster outclassed Fulton. Easy money, 11-1, 12 zip. So he got both titles. He had both titles. So he had like 10, 15 days to decide which belt he wanted to keep. So he decided to keep his belt at 130 pounds, the real title. You know what I'm saying? The interim title would have made him mandatory for Shakur Stevenson, but we know Shakur is about to move up to 140 to fight Teofimo January 31st. So it wasn't a sure thing. And I think it's actually a good move that he kept his title at 130 because if you didn't get a guarantee from the WBC that, hey, you're going to order me to fight Shakur, then there's no need for me to keep this belt because that belt wasn't created for me anyway. That belt was created for Stephen Fulton because he blew weight. And to save face, they asked the WBC to put that belt on the line. So it's actually a good move. This is one of the rulings that the WBC had yesterday. They was talking about their mandatories and shit. And this is like the biggest story. So Shock Foster keeps his title at 130. Then he can go back to 130 and pursue unifications. I mean, we got a big fight coming. We got two really big fights coming up at 130 real soon. December 27th, we got the new WBA champion at 130, Jazza Dickens. He just got elevated to full champion when Lamar Roach got stripped because Lamar Roach ain't come back to 130. So as soon as Lamar Roach stepped in the ring against Pitbull, he got stripped. So Jazza Dickens, the interim champion, got elevated. He's going to face the Susumi kid coming up December 27th. That's a tough fight. That's one of Turkey's guys. He got him handpicked and put him in position to fight for the world title against Jazza Dickens. Shock Foster can go that route. Maybe get the winner of that fight. That's a good unification. Those guys is on the same path. You know what I'm saying? And maybe a little bit less complicated to get the winner of the WBA champion than the winner of Nunes versus Navarrete. So Sugar Nunes is the IBF champion. He's going to unify with Emmanuel Navarrete, the WBO champion, February 28th. So, I mean, that makes sense because it'll be a 3-belt unification for Shakur Foster. But that fight got a lot of drama with it because the winner has a mandatory that's overdue. Charlie Suarez is the WBO mandatory for Navarrete. He took step aside to allow the unification to happen with Nunes. And he should be world champion because there was some controversy with his fight with Navarrete where instant replay got involved, and they said it was a headbutt that caused the cut, but it was actually a punch. So Suarez should be the new WBO champion. That shit didn't happen. So what would probably be the easier route for Shakur Foster? What I'm trying to say, and him going the WBA route, get that title, and then fight the winner of that unification for the IBF and WBO, if that's what he want to do. Other than that, it's not really a lot of big fights. I mean, Ray 4 is a good fight for hardcore boxing fans. I'm not sure how much business that would do, but they've been going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? That's not a bad fight. But other than the champions, it's not like a lot of big names for Shakur Foster at 130. So yes, sir. But I'm glad he got his opportunity though, and I thought he actually made the right decision because like I said, the WBC not guaranteeing you Shakur Stevenson and lightweight. It really ain't no point because they be back and forth with their orders. I can find a Canadian. Oh, you're in Canada. You're in Canada. Well, I don't know then. Oh, you talking? Which card you talking about? You talking about the Gassiv card? Or you talking about? I watched the Gassiv card on YouTube. I watched. I watched the Canadian card on Punch and Grace. Michael James, what's good with you, bro? 616 in the building. No, Cool Boy he vacated his featherweight title. Yes, sir. William Old School in the building. So yeah, let me go over that. So the WBC yesterday, they clarified their mandatory status for their champions in each division. So you guys can go check that out on their website. But just to touch on Stephen Fulton, so he vacated his title, his featherweight title. So we have the interim champion, Shushu Carrington. He's going to fight Carlos Castro January the 31st for the full WBC title. The winner of that fight has to fight champion in recess Ray Vargas. All right. So Fulton is no longer champion. Nathan Collins and Lorente, they're gonna run it back for a final eliminator. That's at the featherweight. Just to go down the list, let me see what really stood out. Badu Jack and McKaylen, they fight tomorrow. The winner of that fight has a voluntary, so that's great news for Jab Ataya, because Jab Ataya been begging for unification. He just fought last week. He on the same schedule as Badu Jack and McKaylen, so maybe if whoever wins that fight tomorrow for the WBC can unify with the IBF champion Jab Ataya. Like heavyweight, they ordered Bowaxi versus Ben Whitaker, but they took it back. They recalled their order because Ben Whitaker already got plans to fight in March. So they trying to bring Ben Whitaker to the U.S. to hopefully, our fingers crossed for as boxing fans, they're trying to make Jerron Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz and put Ben Whitaker on that undercard. That's March 28th in Vegas. So fingers crossed. Hopefully that happens. So they'll probably order another fight for Joshua Bowaxi to become the mandatory for David Benavidez. And then, of course, David Benavidez is going to move up and fight Zerto, you know what I'm saying, in May. All right, let me see. Carlos Adames, he signed to fight Emma Williams now. Now, originally, he was supposed to fight his mandatory, but, you know what I'm saying, I guess they worked out a deal. Now, Adames is going to fight Emma Williams on the undercard of Shakur versus Tio. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. Let me see. What else? Of course, we know Barrios and Ryan Garcia. They'll probably announce that fight sometime next week. They're going to fight February the 21st. Conor Ben is the mandatory, which is, that's a WBC thing. Suleiman Sissoko is supposed to be the mandatory. He won the final eliminator against Mean Machine. So now he's trying to petition the WBC to get his opportunity. So we'll see how, we'll see what happens with that. At 140, Sabril Matisse, he tested positive for a banned substance, the A and B sample, but his levels came under the threshold of New York City, New York State Athletic Commission. So for that, the drug he tested positive for was Ostarine. The limit is 0.1. He came under 0.085, something like that. So he's allowed to fight his mandatory in New York City, Barclays Center, Dalton Smith, January the 10th. So nothing. So no suspension, no nothing. Only thing he getting is extra testing. So yeah, that's what it is with that one. Let me see. I don't think it's nothing else too crazy that we probably don't already know. So yeah, the WBC, that's their mandatory situation that they released yesterday. So you guys want to go tap in with it, just go to the WBC website. They got you covered. He said it's off topic, but what's good with Shushu? No, he do. He do got fight. Okay, never mind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he supposed to fight NYC on that Shakur card. They was trying to work. They was working out two possible venues for that fight, either in Puerto Rico that same day on Xander Zayas' card. Xander about to unify with the WBA champion. He got the WBO. So, but it makes more sense for him to fight in New York City, though. You know what I'm saying? For obvious reasons. And he's a Ring Magazine ambassador. So, Shushu fighting for the world title. Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm hearing. That's it's gonna be on Shakur's card. So that makes hella sense. Just load up that card with New York fighters. Like Hitchins supposed to be on there. Um, I heard it's somebody. Oh, I talked about Adamas and Ammo. So yeah, that's the one. He said, any hunch on Africa's next fight? Yeah, Ortiz. So yeah, I know we did a show about that. I did my process of elimination show. Salute to everybody that supported that. But yeah, Ortiz is in the mix, and if that fight get made, what I'm hearing, they close to a deal with Jermaine Ortiz. So Richardson Hitchins defending his IBF title against Jermaine Ortiz. It's looking like it's gonna be on that Shakur Teofimo card. So that's dope. Um, yeah, I think Keyshawn. I think it can happen later this year. Yeah, I think the biggest probably hold up if Keyshawn figuring out his promotional situation. Both guys, they kind of all price themselves. It wasn't one person ducking. Hitchens asked for a high minimum, 2.5 million, and then Keyshawn asked for 2.2 million. So, I mean, they ain't never made that much money in their life, and it's kind of crazy putting like, let's say, a $4.5 million fight on the undercard of Teofimo and Shakur, who is probably making about 10 million a piece, maybe. I'm not sure. Well, I'm saying that fight probably a standalone fight. If they're gonna make Hitchens and Keyshawn, they probably do their own fight. You feel me? So we'll see. He said it's crazy. Any news on Raquel? No news on her opponent. It probably won't be none too crazy. You know what I'm saying? You just look at the landscape. She haven't fought in 2 years, right? So I don't expect nothing crazy. But after that, she'll probably get in the sweepstakes. So Shadeja Green or Savannah Marshall. I don't know. I think it may have a chance. I feel like that's the Riyadh season card right there, February the 14th. But I don't know. I guess it has a chance, but I'm thinking more so the Riyadh season. We'll see. We'll see. They should be announcing that pretty soon. That whole card. Um. All right. So here's some announcements for MVP. So they announced this a couple of days ago, but it's still a dope build on this because Caroline Dubois is probably one of the best fighters um, for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? One of the best female fighters. WBC champion, 135 pounds. She just signed with MVP. She's going to fight on the Jake Paul card next week. Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. So this is dope because she's in a MVP signed. Well, they signed 3 of the 4 champions at lightweight. You know what I'm saying? So they got an opportunity to make some big fights. Also, a division down, you have Alicia Baumgartner, who is fighting on the same card next week. So we can possibly get Alicia Baumgartner and Caroline Dubois sometime in the future. If she want to go to 140, they got Chantel Cameron. So her getting out of her boxer contract is actually dope because she been inactive and she can fight too. You know what I'm saying? Olympian, all that good shit. So that's the younger sister of Daniel Dubois. They don't fight none alike, but they do got some dog in them, and she be bringing that shit. So we're gonna get a chance to see her next week, and hopefully they can definitely promote some big fights for her because she can fight the winner between Stephanie Hahn and Holly Holm. They're gonna fight for the WBA title in January the 3rd. You have Terry Harper out there. MVP signed Terry Harper. She's from the UK. She's the WBO champion. And I don't know if they want to do this so soon, but get the new IBF champion, Alif Turhan. She a monster. She ended up throwing punches and windmilling like Wilder back in the day and shit. But she can punch though. She's dangerous. So Caroline Dubois is in a good position. She's gonna make Just so like the same thing. My man asked me about Raquel Miller. It's a welcome to the promotion type of fight because she should be able to beat this opponent pretty easy, and then move on to bigger and better things. So I expect the same thing for Raquel Miller. And speaking of that, so they added some fights to Amanda Serrano's undercard. But y'all stay tuned. Amanda might lose her opponent. I'm hearing her opponent tested positive again for a banned substance, Erica Cruz. Y'all stay tuned. But they added Ebony Bridges. You know what I'm saying? She's probably one of the most popular female fighters. We haven't seen her in a while. I know she had a baby, so she been out the ring for a while. Raquel Miller, she fights at 168 or 175. I would like to see her against Claressa Shields one day, but since it's on MVP, she's assigned with MVP. After she have her comeback fight on this card, uh, the WBC did order Raquel Miller versus Savannah Marshall, so I'm not sure, but I'm thinking depending how she look and how she feel, if she can make 168 or whatever, uh, maybe she can fight Shadeja Green too. So she's a welcome addition. The Chop Chop kid is on the card. That's that tall guy, like 6'4", got a lot of knockouts. And then you got Rosado. So they just announced this. This is January the 3rd in Puerto Rico. So like I said, y'all stay tuned, man. I heard some shit that old girl tested positive. You know, Erica Cruz tested positive last year for a banned substance, and I ain't hear nobody talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody mention it. I ain't hear about no suspension or nothing. And then they said she tested positive for clenbuterol. Y'all know that's that Mexican basically. That's they put that product in Mexican beef. The same shit Canelo tested positive for. So we're gonna see if that fight stays on, and y'all stay tuned for the announcement. You think Wilder, Usyk, Whitaker? Um, the first one, yeah, Wilder and Usyk, I think definitely is possible. Whitaker and Boaxi, maybe later in the year though. They got a little plan for him, so they're trying to do March. Like I said, they're trying to bring him to the U.S. in March. So maybe after that they'll do something. So yeah, I think both are possible. 2026. All right, moving on. So IBF champion Lewis Crocker, right? Him and Jack Catterall supposedly in negotiations, right? They said Jack Catterall didn't like the money, so he had turned down the initial offer. That don't mean that he actually turned down the fight all the way. Um, Maybe he want to renegotiate and get a bigger bag. They said the offer that they sent him was less than his last couple of fights, and he's fighting for a world title. So I get it. Negotiate to see what get what you worth. But the IBF champion Lewis Crocker is trying to come back like April the 11th in Ireland. He's trying to fight at the soccer stadium, Windsor Park, and it depends what they have, the money, the budget in that event, how they gonna do that. I don't know, but yeah, Catterall is probably the best opponent in the IBF rankings that probably would beat him. You know what I'm saying? That's probably realistic. I think Catterall probably can beat him. Then but I don't think he's gonna fight Catterall next. I think he's gonna either fight the rematch with Conor Walker, who just fought last week. He stopped Pat McCormick. He stopped Pat McCormick in the last round. Good performance by him, and that's a rematch. Him and Crocker fought to a real good fight a couple years ago. And then Harlem Eubank. So Harlem Eubank just entered the new IBF rankings. Look, Lewis Crocker went to Harlem Eubank's fight. Like, I mean, come on. And a lot of fighters that's going to Harlem Eubank fight, not Chris Eubank, Harlem Eubank. So it's definitely something in the air for that. We'll see. We'll see. But Catterall initially he turned down the small offer. So let's see if they go back and renegotiate and see if they can get this fight for April. So let's get it. Catterall did look good under Bozy though. I will say that. Do you see Hitchins moving up to welterweight now? No, not now. Probably like maybe the end of the year. Maybe the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? The end of the year, because I mean, it would look. It probably would have made more sense for him to move up now and use his IBF exception to fight Lewis Crocker since he's back with Eddie Hearn. It probably would have made sense to do that, and then just kind of beat those guys from 140 moving up to 147. Because really at 140, the only big fight for him that's probably realistic is probably Keyshawn. I mean, maybe Teofimo, depending on what happens with Shakur. But that wouldn't be a bad move. But the only thing is politics, right? Because we have Lewis Crocker about to get a mandatory soon in January 16th, the winner between his good friend Patty Donovan and then Leon Paro. So, if Richards and Hitchins move up and beat Lewis Crocker, then let's say Paro gonna be his mandatory. He just beat him, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that's gonna work. Maybe that's an option down the line, but I don't know if it's gonna be next. I don't think it's gonna be next. But we'll see. It's boxing's crazy. Yo, Zuffa boxing. This is Dana White's company. They getting into boxing, TKO, all that shit. They trying to do their first show January 23rd. So that's like the day before the UFC event. They got a pay-per-view coming up the next night. It's supposed to be in Vegas. So on the 24th for boxing, we have Raymond Tyler versus Andy Cruz in Vegas. So I'm not sure where they're gonna have their event in Vegas, but they're supposed to do their first boxing show. So all eyes is gonna be on their show because they're supposed to come take over boxing and change up everything, get rid of the sanctioned bodies and all this shit, right? So now we want to see what they got. They've been real quiet. I mean, yeah, they've been real quiet. I know they've been talking about signing fighters, but we haven't heard nothing crazy. And for this type of card, it sounds like this is gonna be like a regular old card that we watch. So let's see. They can't step in the game and they're not better than Probox. You know what I'm saying? With the money they got. They're supposed to kick off their new streaming deal with Paramount Plus. So Probox is like on fire, right? So you're gonna come in and you're gonna be half of Probox, and Probox is like very accessible to the fans. Like you gotta step it up. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see what they coming with. I don't mind them in the game. Them trying to change shit to me, it really don't matter unless they can get the fighters on their platform. If they just doing one belt, whatever, that's just okay. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have the fighters to represent, because the fighters makes the belts. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have the proper fighters on your platform, then who cares about? It's just watching a regular old fight. You know what I'm saying? I watch fight cards in Mexico on the weekend all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like me watching that shit. I don't be knowing half of them dudes, maybe one or two guys, and then some new guys I'm trying to get to know. It's the same shit that I'm gonna be watching if they don't step it up. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. And here's the ironic thing too: the venue that Matchroom has reserved for more Tyler versus Cruz, the Fontaine Blue. That's normally where UFC does their small shows in Vegas, like that slap event, that slap shit they be doing. They be knocking motherfuckers out when they slapping people. They do that at Fontaine Blue, and they do some of the smallest shows for UFC, like the UFC Fight Night. They do that at Fontaine. So how they gonna do it? They gonna still hold the Fontaine Blue and still do it on a Friday and whatever, or they'll go to another venue. We'll see. So yeah, I want to see. I want to see them. Just like Overtime is a fairly new platform. Probox fairly new. What's another one? Rare Owl Boxing is a new one. Marv Nation, all these smaller promotion companies, what I'm saying? They do shows and stuff like that. And it took them a while to get to their point and build up momentum. But Zuffa Boxing is coming in with a truckload of money behind them. They got the backing of the Saudis, they got Dana White, they got Nick Khan, they got all this shit, all these great ideas, right? So it shouldn't be no average ass show. You feel me? Like it should be some shit crazy or something at least the fights have to be, you know what I'm saying, have to be very exciting. It can't just be on the bullshit. So let's see. Welcome to boxing type shit. Yes, sir. Nick J in the building. Salute. What's good with you? Any word on reschedule? Nope, no word on that. Just my educated guess. Maybe their goal. Look, I would love for them to get on this Shakur and Teofimo card. It would actually make sense because that 140 pound that division will be on display, especially if they have Hitchins on there too. You know what I'm saying? So you have what, 3 of the 4 championship fights on that card, title fights on that card, and the 140 would be represented real good. But maybe Gary and Hirako go on the Barrios and Ryan Garcia card, February 21st. We'll see. We'll see. Robert Brown, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. Appreciate you. Coming through the building. Lee Jackson in the building. What's good with you? I really like Probox fights. Yeah, yo, nice little segue. Probox just announced they have a card coming up. Let me take this banner down. They have a card coming up Friday, January the 30th. So that's the day right before the 31st. 31st, we got hella cards. Shakur, Teofimo, Xander, Baru. I'm missing one. We got Mutazaliev and Josh Kelly. We got some, man. Look, January 31st is going to be crazy. So this is like going to kick it off. So this card, Probox TV, they're going to be in D.C., the D.C. area. Handover, Maryland. So basically DC. And they got some notable names on the card. Trayvon Marshall is a good fighter. Got 1 loss. You got Lamont Roach's little brother, Jordan Roach, who fought last weekend. David Whitmire, a good fighter. Francis Scarborough coming off a nice knockout against an undefeated prospect. Jordan White is trying to bounce back. He lost to Renee Tellis his last fight. The body shots got to him. Suleiman Sagawa. I thought Sagawa beat Shushu low key. He can fight. He's a tough fighter. And then Ben Johnson, who also fought on the Roach and Pitbull card. All these young fighters is going to be representing the DMV area on this Probox card. So, that's dope. This is January the 30th. Just announced it. So, yeah, we're going to talk more about it as we get closer for sure. Here's another good fight they just announced. Nick Ball versus Brandon Figueroa. This is February the 7th. This is a WBA mandatory fight. Nick Ball is defending his title against Figueroa. This is a good fight. On paper, it should be a action-packed fight. I think Figgy kind of faded just a little bit. I didn't like his last 2 performances. I'm just be honest. The fight he had with Fulton, it looked like he didn't have no type of game plan, and he was just confused, and he looked real slow. And then Joet, I thought Joet beat him too. So to me, he should be 0-2. Nick Ball, he's short, 5'2", strong, stocky guy, and he been having a lot of defenses, but it's so. He been fighting a lot of I like the Sam Goodman fight, but the knock on Nick Ball is every fighter that he fought since becoming champion are like career 122 pounders. Even Brandon Figueroa made his claim at 122, but we see Brandon probably as a bigger fighter. You know what I'm saying? And he's definitely taller but bigger. So we'll see. This should be action packed. You know what I'm saying? It's for the WBA title at featherweight. And hopefully this can lead to some unifications because look, Shushu supposed to fight for the WBC January 31st. Nick Ball February the 7th, a week later. We got Espinoza in the mix. February 21st, you have the IBF champion, Angelo Leo. So they all are on the same schedule, you know what I'm saying, relatively speaking. So that should lead to some type of unification sometime next year. One would hope. Man, we'll see. Because featherweight got some good champions, honestly. And if we can get them to unify, it can be better fights for us fans. So that's dope. All DMV, that's dope. I thought Goodman edged. Man, listen, man, I thought he did too. That was a close fight. Goodman will be back next week though. If you're still rocking with Goodman, he's fighting on Tim Zoo's card. So you know what I'm saying. Hopefully he get another opportunity. They announced this fight, this rematch this week. Claressa Shields versus Franchon II rematch. These ladies fought their pro debut. There's a lot of circumstances behind that. With Franchon, she took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. Her mom was, her mom was on her. Y'all know what it is. Her mom was real sick at the time, was tired, and then after the fight, she ended up passing after that. So it was a lot of stuff she had on her head and had to deal with. So now she getting the opportunity to, to fight Claressa Shields, and she had a better situation than she was going into that first fight. So let's see. In her career, she become, went on to do some good things. Unified, undisputed. She's a current unified champion at 168. This fight is at 175. It's really no weight issue. So when you hear everybody talking about diet or weight bullying or cherry picking, they just don't like Claressa. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it like that. They can just say it and then speak their fact or speak whatever they feel. But it ain't no weight bully because Franchon Cruz, as an amateur 10 years ago, she fought at 178. So 10 years ago she was 30. She was 28 years old. Now she's 38. Do the quick math, bro. Ain't it easier or ain't it harder to cut weight as you get older? I'm just saying they the same size, or I don't think the size is the problem. So don't fall for that narrative. Don't let them get to you unless you like hearing that shit, and you can keep that. Um, I think it's gonna be a good fight. 10 rounds. Of course, I favor Claressa though. I like Franchon, but Franchon been fighting sloppy as of late, and she do got a good win over Shadeja. So yeah, that's another debate. Claressa ducking Shadeja to fight Franchon. You can't really say that because those ladies been round robin. Um, Claressa, Shadeja, Franchon, and Savannah. All of them been fighting each other. The only one haven't fought is Claressa and Shadeja. And that's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen down the line. This fight was not really easy to predict, because Salita signed Franchon earlier this year. And you ain't signing Franchon just to have her campaign in 168 and fight other girls. Like, there's a lot of fighters up there. You know what I'm saying? So he signed her so she can fight Claressa. So we here. So we'll see. I think yeah, Franchon gonna come in hard. Y'all already know what it is. But I think Carissa's just better. You know what I'm saying? And after this fight, I think the demand for for Claressa versus Shadeja would be even higher. They already promoted the fight on social, going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it's no obstacles after this and they can make that fight. So let's go. I'm looking forward to it. It should have a nice crowd. They said that they're doing it in Detroit. Last time Claressa sold out in Detroit. She just signed her new deal. So hopefully that can create a big platform and an atmosphere for these fighters right here because they deserve it. Women's boxing been going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that should be dope. They got hit up RGBA. That gym was a gold mine of talent, now for sure. Jukenbalia versus Brian Flores. Excuse me. Which date is that? What date is that? Brian Flores. I remember him. He a good fighter. Claressa fan base is underrated. She been putting people in. No, she has. She has. Franchon gotta make it ugly, like she with Green. Yeah, she kind of tricked Shadeja out her position in that fight. She act like she was aggressive, land like one or two punches, then start holding. So I'm with that. If she can maintain that against Claressa, maybe she have a chance. But she gets tired too much, and I think Claressa gonna end up overwhelming her with her volume. But let's see. The heavy hitting diva though. I like Franchon too. Any word on who Holland Home fights? Yeah. Her fight was announced like 2 months ago. She gonna fight Stephanie Han for the WBA title, lightweight title, January the 3rd on Amanda Serrano's undercard in Puerto Rico. Yes, sir. I got you covered. Um, so they finally announced this fight to Figueroa and Shakur. This has been the worst kept secret in boxing history. We knew this fight was going to happen. We were just waiting on the date. So we got it January the 31st, MSG. They had their press conference this week that was trash. They want nothing to even recover a cover. That shit, this wasn't a good press conference. It was more so Shakur going at it with T.O. Jr. So a lot of people call the daddy Teofimo Senior. He's actually junior. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys know that, but they say senior, but he actually junior. And then Teofimo, the fighter, is the third. But whatever, that's just whatever. Little fun fact. But it was just the father and Shakur going back and forth. Teofimo trying to be damn Benjamin Franklin with his philosophy and all this bullshit. I never really listened to what he be saying because he just be trying to, I don't know, he trying to sound smart in a dumbass way. But the fight, I'm excited for the fight because it's two guys, notable names in the sport of boxing that's fighting each other, and they're the same age. They both are. They got a lot of accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? 3 division world champion for Shakur. We have a unified champion, lightweight champion for Teofimo, and he's a 2 division champion at 140. Ring magazine, all that good shit, all the accolades is on display, and I think it's gonna be a better fight than what people expect. Because Shakur, a lot of people don't really fuck with him. He got, he gonna get a lot of hate regardless. Teofimo won't get a lot of hate, even though he probably deserve more than he get. And a lot of people that don't really support Shakur, instead of picking against the racist fighter, they've been saying racist comments. They gonna pick against Shakur because he's like a threat to one of their favorite fighters. That's just how shit works. It's all good. But yeah, yo, I'm looking forward to it. MSG. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to the undercard too. Like I mentioned earlier, Hitchins looked like he done turned the corner and went to the table for Jermaine Ortiz. So let's see if they make that fight. Announce that. Shushu, I'm excited about Shushu getting an opportunity to fight for the world title. Carlos Adames and Ammo Williams. So yeah, it's fun. It should be good. And the tickets went out on sale the other day. So I hope you guys ain't fall for that fake ass report about them high ass tickets that some people was reporting last week about this fight. Bro, I hope nobody bought no tickets. That shit is a scam. Nah, go check Ticketmaster now at the official tickets. The tickets are much cheaper. It's not that bullshit that was reported. Please don't fall for it and don't report it. If you did, walk that shit back. You know what I'm saying? And put out the real tickets so that way your supporters are tapped in. Because ain't no way nobody paying no damn 1,200 for no damn getting to the arena tickets. Ain't no way. The tickets is way better price than with that scam ass shit that came out. I hope y'all didn't fall for it, bro. But yeah, yo, let's get it. MSG. We really ain't had a big fight at MSG in a long time. So I mean, I think Katie and Amanda was like the last one, wasn't? Said T.O. wasn't talking. No, he was talking. He was just talking some bullshit. He said January the 3rd. Okay, that's gonna be the main event. Okay, I'm with that. Z Pacino, what's good? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, man, no, they be coming out with that, and that's what I'm saying. Like that ticket chart that I seen, that shit didn't even look like no real ass shit. But they be look, those ticket scalpers be getting people. You go buy one if you want to, you're gonna be assed out, and all they have to do is they'll just get your ass. That same ticket you pay $1,200 for, they'll get it for 200, and then they done beat you out of 1,000, and then you over there looking crazy. So y'all, I say this. If y'all want to know about tickets, shit, this wait until so they normally drop the tickets when they do the press conference, either the day before, the day of, or the day after. It's like that, like clockwork. Now, if it's a big fight, if it's like a regular fight, they'll announce the date, then they'll probably drop tickets maybe a week after that or a couple of days after. But until they drop the tickets officially and they have a pre-sale code, bro, don't go into them scam ticket sites. They're gonna get you every time. Buddy paid for some regular shit. That's what I'm saying. And what the thing is, credible sources, you know what I'm saying, that we go to, they will report on this like it's real. And then you don't like Shakur, right? And then you'll be like, man, I ain't paying this much to watch no damn Shakur. Who the hell? And then now we got a fake narrative running off some bullshit scam tickets. But I haven't heard nobody walk that shit back yet. I like the bounce back better than the fall down. The fall down happens every day, but the bounce back is what makes you whole again. You feel me? A lot of people don't like to bounce back. They don't like to walk that shit back. It is what it is. And then of course, at that press conference, we had Hitchins there. Hitchins, and they announced that he re-signed with Eddie. So you see the picture right here with his manager, Keith Conley, and Eddie Hearn. So he's gonna fight on the card. We seen the face off with him and Keyshawn. Yeah, that shit teased the fans, but that shit ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Both guys asked for a high minimum that's just not available for this fight. So maybe they'll get it later on this year. I'm not sure. So we'll see. And I did my show about who I think Hitchens is gonna fight. I ruled out Jermaine Ortiz in that time because he ruled them out. He said he never got a contract or he never heard his name. So they came back to the table. It looked like so. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? Hitchens been, Hitchens been popping this shit, and they've been saying he been ducking everybody. But real talk, he only been in negotiations with one or two people. So how he ducking six people? And you know what I'm saying? But this is what it is. If you don't fuck with him, then you can twist everything. You just hear half of the truth. Oh, that's enough. Hit play, and I'm gonna do my video instead of just okay. Let me reach out, especially if you got the access to reach out to people, bro. That shit is important. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit is lazy shit, and just to get some views and shit. Man, that fuck all that. I'd rather be right. I would rather be first right and on point than first wrong and halfway stuff. I gotta walk shit back. I could have just reached out to this guy that I know he knows some stuff, but I ain't reaching out to him. I'm just gonna go for my own shit. Man, come on. But we'll see. Hitchens is in a hot seat because he be talking that big shit, and he talks shit about everybody. So we want to see him in there with Antoine. I want to see that fight, but I know Antoine is tied up. I want to see a Teofimo fight, but of course Teofimo busy. Um, I want to see him and Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Look like he ain't ready to go to 47 just yet. What else? It's fights for him to have, like the Keyshawn fight. Those guys sold that fight. So whenever they make it, then that should do some good stuff right there because they both talk their shit and they gonna bring people in. So yeah, I get it though. I get it. Like we got a lot of power on our platforms. We can come up on here, and if I don't fuck with somebody, bro, I can have them looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because you can speak on half truths and just go. You can speak on the facts because it's gonna be facts on both sides, on either side. Whatever it's facts. That's why this community is so dope because everybody brings different shit to the table. So some shit I may know, I may not know, but you know. So you bring it to the table. We all land on the table. We can discuss it, right? But a lot of the times, it's like a smear campaign. This dude Hitchens unducked like 10 people. I'm like, damn. And I only heard about two guys, so it is what it is. Okay. All right, that's what's up. That ain't too bad. Let's see how that undercard look, if it can match up to that. Hopefully they build a nice little undercard. MSG kind of sells itself because it's so legendary. So let's see. Who you got between Shushu and Keyshawn? Um, I got Keyshawn. the bigger fighter. Where they fighting at? Keyshawn can't make nothing. Can't make 35 no more. Where they fighting at? It seems like a fantasy fight. So I'm suspecting Shushu would come up. What weight will he come up to? Um, if it's like I think if he coming up to 140 to fight Keyshawn, I like Keyshawn. If Keyshawn gotta kind of make 135, I still favor Keyshawn because he'd be the bigger, stronger man. But you know, I think they a couple of weight divisions apart, so I'd take Keyshawn. Yes, sir. That weight should make a big difference. He said he think he means Hitchins. Oh, Hitchins. Um, I like Hitchins in that fight. I like Hitchins. I'm high on Hitchins. I think Hitchins is a good fighter. I like him. He a little bit. He ain't better than Devin to me, but they close. For me, he's more consistent with his jab than Devin is. So he can beat fighters with this his jab. Devin got a great jab, but he's not consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? Like after he knocked down Norman, those next 2 or 3 rounds, he was popping Norman's head back with the jab. Then he just like, I'm cool. I don't have to store it no more. I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? That's Hitchens' main punch. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, yeah, I like Hitchens. I like Hitchens. You know what I'm saying? Hitchens can box his ass off. Got to show more grit. Um, uh, I guess I thought he showed some pretty good grit in that Limos fight. I thought he won the Limos fight, to be honest. Because you go back and watch it, I thought he actually fought pretty well on the inside. But I'm with you. All right, Deontay and Chisora. Yo, this is some funny ass shit watching it. So we know Deontay Wilder. He was at this event in Dubai for the Pulev and Gasser fight. It was a hell of fighters out there. So these guys faced off. I know Usyk called. Let me do this one first. Then we go back to Chisora. So Usyk at the WBC convention, he asked for Deontay. He asked the WBC would they grant him the voluntary to fight Deontay. He said that's the only fight that he has on his mind. Right? That's the only fight that he's been negotiating. These guys are negotiating. Usyk vacated his WO title. Fabio Worley got elevated to full champion. So, I mean, this is a big fight in the heavyweight division. It's not as big as it once was. I think Deontay is faded, and he kind of went through a lot, since the Fury fights, losing to Parker and getting stopped by Zane. And he had one combat fight that, I thought it was okay, given on what he'd been through. You know what I'm saying? So Usyk been on a real high level, and he been on a tear as of late. So him trying to add a big name on his resume as a voluntary, I'm not even mad at it. You know what I'm saying? So let's see if they get it done. Yeah. So it's you know to me it's more so like adding that name to your resume, so you can say I beat everybody in my era type shit. So that's so let's see those guys in negotiations. Let's see who's gonna actually pick that fight up. I'm not sure who gonna pick it up. I'm not sure if Turkey is on board with this. I'm not sure if Eddie or Queensberry is on board. So we'll have to see if it's an outside company that got some bread. So then it took us to this yesterday, Wilder and Chisora. So I'm not mad at this fight, to be honest. Um, if this a prerequisite for Deontay to get to Usyk, I don't like it because I don't feel like he got a lot of fights to be wasting on Chisora. Just to be honest, but maybe this is the fight that's more so on his level, if that makes sense. I think I like right now. Now I love some Deontay, but I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I'm so confident about him beating Usyk. I'm just gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna root for him and all that shit. We're gonna rock the gear. But this is not 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit done changed. But this one right here is actually more fun to me. You know what I'm saying? More so on his level right now, I wouldn't mind it. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we'll see. Maybe they can make this fight happen. Chisora, when he be talking, I listen to him because Chisora is one of the realest in the game. He said the fight is already done. This is gonna be his 50th fight, Deontay. So if he's saying it, I'm listening. And he said he said the fight already done. He just gotta give it to who want it, Queensberry or Matchroom. So that right there is something to take note of because Chisora don't be fucking around. He's one of the realest in the game. So we're gonna see, you know. But if Deontay can get the Usyk fight though, I mean, I don't know. I think like you can't always you can't never write them off with that right hand, but that's a tough matchup for Usyk. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Crazy shit. Fight fighter of the year. Uh, fight or fighter. Which one? Clarify. Fight. I don't know. Fight of the year. I feel like Terrence Crawford is fighter of the year. I feel like Terrence Crawford, even with one fight, just based on what he did to Canelo, because a lot of people won't give him an opportunity. Fight of the year, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I can't think. Name some, and then then some might click in my mind. I like to see Hitchins at 47. Yeah, I think he'll fill out nice at 147. Yeah, I want to see him there too. I'm down for that senior citizen fight. Yeah, I think competition wise, the Chisora fight may make more sense now. But if you want one last crack at Usyk, then I'm with it. I fucks with Usyk, but Wilder not ready for him right now. Hey, I'm not mad at it if he give him an opportunity to sell off in the sunset. But I think Chisora fight is a more winnable fight. I don't know if it makes it past 6 rounds with Usyk. I agree he has more speed. If Chisora says I'm unless I'm hearing something different, yeah, Chisora be on that shit. He said, "Fight, yeah, I got you." I don't know. Fight of the year, I don't know. I don't know. Give me some. Chango train. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. If anyway beat wins on the 27th, yeah, and Bud fight, yeah, I'm with that. He said, Norman Haney fights of the year. Nah, Norman Haney won no fight of the year. Anyway, and Cardenas, I don't know if it was a fight of the year. It was a good fight. Those guys traded knockdowns, but I think it was a fight more better than that. I can't think of it right now. I need to do my homework. Come back. But Haney and Norman, that's definitely ain't on my category. Hell nah. I ain't gonna lie, bro. After the knockdown, ain't much happened in that fight. If Lamont got 2 decisions, you know what, man, that'd be tough. He in the conversation. I'm gonna say he in the conversation. The build up sold it, but the fight. You talking about build up of the year? That's something different. But fight of the year? Nah, that wasn't no fight of the year. But yeah, not fight of the year. Yeah, I think Lamont. Yeah, he been in the conversation. But I think the Crawford shit, nobody's really done that like that. You know what I'm saying? And want a lot of people picking him to do it. They say he's supposed to take a fight at 160. He's supposed to fight this guy, that guy, and he went up and beat him pretty easy. Okay, appreciate that, bro. Yeah, Lester Martinez and then Billy by Waxy. Those two was good. The first, yep. Okay, I'm with you. No, I agree. Those three was dope. Yeah. Um, just another one. But no, those are good ones right there, bro. Yeah, I take those. Mason and Noakes weren't too bad. I don't know if it wins it, but that wasn't too bad. That was a fun fight. A real good fight. Yeah, so yeah, it been some good fights this year. It's just my memory is off right now. Uh, I don't know. Tiger dominated that fight. Like, I don't know your definition of that shit though, but mine is like when it's like a lot of ebb and flows, when it's a lot of momentum swings. Maybe it's a knockdown on both sides. You know what I'm saying? One guy got the advantage and the other guy got the advantage, and they going to like that. Tiger and Floss was one sided, my guy. That shit was one sided. Maybe breakout performance. He said Mason and Notes for me. That was a good one. That was a good one. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be looking at shit. Like that's my definition. Fight of the year. Like okay for knockout of the year, right? My definition for knockout of the year, dude gotta be sleep. That's one. That's the main criteria for me. Um, like there's been some good knockouts this year too. Like I think the Norman knockout of the year, he up there. I think I like Frank Martin's last week. Shaw had a great knockout earlier this year on Probox. Those dudes was sleep. Like Gassiev and Pulev, a good knockout. But Pulev, he was out of it, but he was on his knees looking around like, who the hell? Where I'm at? Where y'all at? He was still awake. I'm talking about sleep, like type shit. That's my definition. Everybody else is different. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't knock nobody. I used to keep track of the fighter of the year, or like these awards. I used to do it, but I fell off because that shit got boring to me. But I used to like keep track of like the coach of the year, and I just do it month by month. So like, okay, and I would explain it like I do everything. If I'm gonna do something, I explain it and break it down. But that shit got boring to me. It's still is Jake still fighting next week? He got a crooked nose. Yeah, he fighting next week. Yeah, he fighting. Yeah, so he got to at this point. I don't think Jake is a master salesman and a troll. So he get a lot of people. Like last week, he said it has to be done. I got a big announcement coming. It has to be done. And people's like, "Oh shit, he pulled out the fight. He's scared. He this and that." Bro, he announced Caroline Dubois. You know what I'm saying? Was that Fulton loss? I think so. I do think so. I do. Yeah, bro. Look, that's another one. Like when I think about the criteria, because I don't go with the low hanging fruit like everybody else though. I think about okay, trainer of the year, a couple of Fabio Worley and Honey. Yeah, that was a good KO, but he was still on his feet. Jabataya last week. Yep, the bookend knockouts last week and the one he had in January. But Worley and Honey, it was a cool knockout. Came out of nowhere type shit. But Honey was on his, the referee stopped the fight early. You know what I'm saying? Even with the Parker fight. That's just me, but man, salute to your list, bro. I appreciate you jogging my memory though. Salute to you. Um, like trainer of the year though. Like I look at shit like this. Does your fighter make they gotta be sleep? For me, yeah, they gotta be not gone. You know what I'm saying? That's just my preference. Knockout of the year. Cause that's knockout, right? Like people get knocked out and stopped and stuff like that. But they on their feet when they waving the fight on. But I like the ones where they ain't moving type shit. Coach of the year though. So, man, just because you have, see, I like to judge the whole thing, right? So I feel like what kind of take me off of like a coach of the year and off the bandwagon if your fighter mixed weight. To me, and that's the main purpose of training a fighter. Now I know the fighter do whatever they want to do, but don't you get dock points for that? You the trainer. That's me. And then a second if you have a trash ass game plan in one of your biggest fights, like okay, for example, Robert Garcia, what was the game plan he had for Jose Ramirez versus Devin Haney? Somebody put it in the chat because I don't know what type. And for an elite trainer like him, y'all don't got no. This is the most vulnerable Devin Haney. Even though he was moving a lot, he was. But damn, you're not going to meet his punch output and outwork him. Crazy. Um, who's another one? Look at Bozy last week. What the hell game plan he had for Fulton? They were saying Fulton was a Hall of Famer after Figueroa fight. Shit. If he's a Hall of Famer, he's gonna go down on that list as Hall of Famers that got dominated by 12 to zip, 11 to 1. He fall in that category with Juan Manuel Marquez, what Floyd did to him. You know what I'm saying? No. He don't get you don't get rewarded that shit, bro. If you train the year, that's a high prestige to me. So those shits, you dock points. Bomac, I mean, Keyshawn blew up his city. And what he acted like he didn't know what was going on. He missed by 4 pounds, bro. How you don't know what's popping? And Steve Nelson got knocked out in the first round against a journeyman. Come on, yo. So I look at all that shit. You know, for a long time I had Andy Lee. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't like the performance with Patty Donovan in the second fight with Crocker, and then Parker. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of go there on the totem pole. Now I'm rocking with anyways pops. So to me, it's a lot of this shit is like who you like and who you support. So a lot of people gonna give it to Bozy because Bozy got 2 great wins, right? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, got 4 wins. He'll have 4 wins this year against top 10 guys, except the first one. That wasn't his fault in January. Cardenas was a top 10 guy, even though he got dropped in that fight. So maybe he kind of lose points, but then he came back and stopped him. Then he made it up by being the #1 guy in the division that they saying that he was ducking. MJ dominated MJ. So against the top guys, he performed. He was elite. And then his son, the youngest one, Tacoma, he was the underdog, came back and beat Tension. Tension Nakasawa won the vacant WBC title. Like those two right there, compared to what everybody like, people have their ups and downs, right? Fighter miss weight, then you don't have a good game plan, then you'll win a couple of fights, and whoever you rock with, like whoever you support, you'll get them trainer of the year. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure people is giving Bill Haney trainer of the year, or they giving whoever, right? Whoever they support, they would get it. But mine don't really work like that. I don't care about the low hanging fruit people. I like to get the ones that I just think, and I can break it down. So I don't know. Oh, he said I'm with you. He said I'm with you. He said trash. That's what I'm saying. He said big fight for Flores. You think he put on a performance? You talking about Gabe Flores? Listen, Gabe Flores fight well in Stockton in his hometown. We got a lot of emotional shit going on in Stockton with their recent tragedies, with the shooting and stuff. Maybe that can rally him. But if I'm really breaking it down with my boxing mind, I like Joe Cordina. I like Kelvin Davis. Yep. I like Robert Garcia too. I think he's a good trainer, elite trainer for sure. He got Bam. We got Bam right. Like, look, okay. Look what Delgado. Look at Delgado's performances. So performance against Elvis, where he probably should have lost. And then the fight against Gallus, I thought he lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? And he's the mandatory for Hitchins. So I don't know if I'm giving guys credit for their fighters looking so in fights they're supposed to win. I don't know. But I love Bam though. I love what he's doing with Bam. Had Diamond game plan. Fight 2 was trash too. That's what I'm saying. He came on strong late, but I don't know. What about that trainer Turkey pays? Abel Sanchez? No, I ain't messing with him. He got Herkovic. He got Herkovic a good win. over Joe Joyce, but I say anyway. Or I like RGBA. They all good trainers, but that's just me. Gabe Flores. I think so. Yeah, I think he's still trained by his pops. Joe Cordina don't look like he fucking around. Nah, he don't. If so, Cordina putting belt on him. Bam and Virgil. Yeah, Bam. Yeah, Virgil had a good win. Two good wins. Yeah, those. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Bam and Virgil. Virgil did fight because that Majimov fight seemed so long ago, but that was February. And then the Lubin fight, I give him credit for Lubin. People thought Lubin was going to get busy on Virgil, but the way Virgil stopped him was nice. Like, yeah, I know he been stopped like worse than that or earlier than that than what Charlo did to him. But since then, Lubin been like on a nice little run. So yeah, I'm with that. I think it depends on what happens on the end of the month with Kenshiro and Garcia for the IBL title. You know what I'm saying? I think it depends. If not, yeah, he's going to 118. I'm saying Robert Garcia got a nice stable. Yeah, he do. I like the young kid he got, Chop Gonzalez, Albert Gonzalez. He's good. He fight with top rank. I like him. Um, he has Real Courier now, the welterweight. He fought on Jake Paul's card in June. He's with Golden Boy. He about to fight Rocha in a rematch in January. I like him. He got Delgado, which I'm so on him. Now Robert, yo, in Southern California, and when fighters need good work, they go to his gym because they get all the work they need. The trainers that offer non motivation speech in the corner, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's some be breaking it down, but it's some, yeah, it depends on the yeah. Some be breaking that shit down. I definitely had Lubin. He was talking heavy. Sunday had me cracking up in the Benavidez fight. Look, Brian Norman, the pops. He was like, "Damn, boy, look at your nose." You know what I'm saying? What type of what type of encouragement of that when Devin in there piecing him up, busting his nose up, and he coming like, "Damn, boy, look at your damn nose, you leaking, boy. Hey, give me a wet towel." I'm like, "What the hell?" Yeah. Then he kept saying the whole fight, "Devin can't punch. He can't punch." I'm like, all right, I don't know what damn fight you watching, but all right. Winston Lee, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. One of the best prospects that got beat this year, though. Who was that? Who you talking about? Robert Garcia? Which one? What's up with Virgil and Boots? Man, those guys in negotiations, bro. This is a fight that the zone wants, and I think they're gonna get it done. It's up to the promoters, Matchroom, and Golden Boy. And I think it get done, bro. And if it get done, the date that they want to do is March 28th in Las Vegas. So that's just like I said earlier in the show. Boxing fans, keep your fingers crossed. That's the one I want. You know what I'm saying? That's a big fight. I think Badu Jack gets it, but it's gonna be a tough fight though. This McKaylen guy can box. I expect it to be another close fight. Um, but I think Badu Jack probably get the edge. But it's a good one though. It's a good one. You can catch that on they got that on pay per view too. It's on pay per view ppv.com and it's on Triller TV for pay per view, depending on what platform you want to watch. I think it's on. I think you can order off of Amazon Prime too. The By the Jack fight. Let me get my coins in order for March. Yeah, March 28th. I know. Oh, that's one thing. Look, I'm glad. Look, I'm glad y'all in here too. I got one more thing for y'all, and I almost forgot. His father probably really thought his son that dude. Um, okay, like big shot for both. Yeah, bro. When Bam back in the ring, man, Bam is like that. I'm not sure when Bam gonna be back. Maybe like the spring. He lost to a 5-0 fighter. Is that tall kid? He lost on. Did he lose on Top Rank? One of the Top Rank cards. I think I remember. But yo, I want to show y'all something real quick, man. I'm glad y'all talking about these dates. Alright. So what I'm about to screen share for you guys. And I got that shit ready too. I just forgot talking. But I'm gonna screen share the agenda for the next Nevada State Athletic Commission. So you guys, if you're interested, all you gotta do is Google Nevada State Athletic Commission, go to event calendar, and you can see what they trying to put on the schedule and what fight dates. It really ain't no secret to nobody. If you're just interested in this, then you can tap in. So they're having their commission meeting on the 16th. Anybody can call in or listen in, I shall say. So you call this number right here, hit that code. I did it plenty of times. 9 o'clock. The meeting normally lasts 10 to 15 minutes. So they like address everybody. They say who's here, and then they'll go to the roll call. Then they'll talk about what's on the agenda. So this is the agenda for the 16th, right? So they do their little preliminary stuff, and then they have promoters asking for venues and asking to reserve venues, and then they try to license their fighters and stuff like this. So as you see right here, number 2, Matchroom, they want the permit to hold Fontainebleau January 24th. Of course, we know that is Raymond Tyler versus Andy Cruz. All right. Then Zuffa boxing, that's UFC. All right, it tells you what it is. All right, so the 21st, right here, 21st of February, not MGM, T-Mobile. So you got TGB. TGB is they got reserved for that day for the T-Mobile. So of course we know what fight that is. That's Mario Barrios versus Ryan Garcia. All right, so you know what I'm saying? Y'all guys can go check in on that. I always tap in with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, their calendar, just to see what they got popping. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing nothing so special. Everybody got Google. I'm just tapped in. That's why I always say tap in, because a lot of this information is right there before you guys. I ain't doing nothing so crazy. I just care a little bit more than everybody. So, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really doing nothing special. Golden Boy, they reserved. So if you notice, Golden Boy and PBC reserved on the same date, T-Mobile. So they're doing a co-promotional deal with Barrios and Ryan Garcia. All right, now here's one that's kind of head scratching. Matchroom also reserving the 21st of February in Vegas, but their venue is TBD. So what they doing? Are they doing? I don't know what they're doing. So that's another question to ask. Or would they go the day before on a Friday? What they doing on that day? Because Matchroom has a card in the UK on the 21st with Josh Warrington versus Lee Wood. So I'm not sure. So that raised suspicion. All right, here's this potential Boots versus Virgil date right here. Y'all take a look at that. All right, y'all see that? March 28th. Matchroom Boxing USA, they reserved the MGM Grand. So, look, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Now, you take this a bit of information, and you say, oh, shit, they reserved the 28th. Now you go do your research. You tap in with whoever you network. I'm just speaking on what I do. I see this, and I'm like, let me go tap in with my network. So, hey, yo, who they who they got that date for? Man, they trying to do that. They trying to reserve that for Boots and Virgil at the MGM Grand. You know they're not gonna put no bullshit at the MGM Grand. And you know what I'm saying? What's the biggest fight? And then you start seeing the stories come out as you doing your research. That's the date right there. So I love this right here because it helped my travel plans. You feel me? Because this shit ain't cheap. If you want to go to a fight and spend 3 or 4 days in Vegas, even 2 days, you want to plan ahead because those tickets, like if you go look at MGM tickets for hotels right now, them shits is dirt cheap for the 28th of March. But once a fight date get announced, once they do a press conference, shit, $700 a night, 1,200, some crazy shit, right? So this helped me get my itinerary together. You feel me? Like I know I be sharing the information with everybody, but a lot of times it's for my damn self. I only live like 2.5 hours from Vegas. I'm in between Vegas and LA. So shit, and my accommodations be on point. So I just need to know what's the official date, and then if even if I what happened, I reserved August 16th for Tank and Roach, and that shit fell through. So what I did was I just shift that shit to Canelo Crawford fight week, and my shit didn't change. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's a risk sometimes because everybody's schedule don't work like that, but hey, I like to know ahead of time. So y'all see it right there. Let me see what else. So Matchroom is also trying to reserve May the 2nd, Cinco de Mayo. Now that's gonna be a conflict, as you guys can see right below it. PBC is they have the second on the reserve too. So if we just follow along with the news cycle, we know TGB, PBC, and Golden Boy already announced the fight with Zerto versus Benavidez. Benavidez announced it in his post fight. So we know that's what that is right there. Now, what Matchroom is doing on the 2nd in Vegas? And does it make sense to go head to head with your competitor? You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to do a lot of head to head in the same city. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna do T-Mobile and MGM Grand at the same damn time. The shit just don't happen. You may do a fight on a Friday, and then everybody's in town, so we'll just go to the Friday card, and then we'll go to Saturday, whatever, right? But I know somebody's gonna fall off this day. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's interesting to see what I'm saying, what they got going on, what they requesting. So it's to me, I do a lot of different shit than a lot of people, right? I go more in depth with what's going on. That's why I be like, hold on, I don't know if they're gonna fight that day. So I be trying to figure shit out though. Expect the gadget type shit. So yeah, man, y'all can go to the website yourself and just do your thing on there. And then you can see like they talking about, you know, they gonna license the MMA fighters and all this shit. They talk about who was suspended, travel grant. You know what I'm saying? So for me, this is like gold type of information for me, because I'm like, bro, I like to know everything that's going on. So yeah, bro, now y'all good to go. So yeah, yes sir. Let me go back. He said, "What you think of Scooter's fight?" Man, that wasn't Scooter. That was Stephen Fulton. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the hell that was. That was Stephen Fulton. That wasn't no damn Scooter. It was a trash performance. No game plan. No nothing. He just wasn't prepared as we see, and he diminished his legacy with that performance. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like it at all. I didn't like Stephen's performance. That wasn't no Scooter, and that wasn't no Cool Boy Steph. That was Stephen. What about the card tonight? That's in the same place. That's basically like the prelims, but they're doing it like a day before. That is Bash Boxing. You know what I'm saying? They just doing basically a 2 day event. They'll have Jaleel Hackett and Vlad Planet and some other young fighters. I think Troy Nash is on the card. So yeah, so it's just a continuation of what they're doing tomorrow. Oh man, watch Ryan lose to Barrios, bro. I th- Man, I don't like Barrios' new trainer, Joe Goosen, but he's better than Ryan's daddy. You know what I'm saying? I'll take him over Ryan's daddy. Thanks for the game. Oh yes, sir, bro. I got you. Yes, sir. March 28th. There you go. So Hopefully, now look. Let me a disclaimer: promoters reserve dates all the time with Nevada, and those shits are subject to change. I will say that because last year PBC had like 6 dates in Vegas, and they probably only did two, three, I think. So yeah, Tank May 2nd. I doubt it. I doubt. I mean, I ain't gonna say it can't happen, but for May 2nd, for what PBC is doing, they're trying to get a reserve. That's Zerto Ramirez and Benavidez. Now, if Tank gonna fight on his undercard, then that's another story. He did say he would fight on Benavidez' undercard one day. So, he said, yeah, never mind. Maybe Tank and Cruz. I don't think for that day. I don't think so. I heard it was gonna be Roach and Cruz running it back in New York City. That's what I heard, but it's too early to say. Paula said Fulton was hanging out with Dan Garcia at the bar. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You think Zerto going to sleep? I don't know. I don't know. That's a big weight jump for Benavidez. Um, I don't know. Zerto is pretty solid. Got a good chin. I mean, if he been down one or two times in his career, I don't know if Benavidez is gonna stop him. Now, Fulton was on some other shit, and the writing was on the wall for him when he was telling Andre Ward and Roy Jones that you know what I'm saying, those weight cutting stories, and he posting that he walk around at 164 trying to make 130. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like, but we were so quick. That's what I'm saying. Like, us boxing fans, we are recency biased. He had a good performance where a lot of people was writing him off against Brandon Figueroa. Now we put him in the Hall of Fame. And then he go what he did in his next fight, kind of like wipe that shit away a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the Hall of Fame guys are great all the time. Even on their bad nights, they still good enough or great enough to beat, you know what I'm saying, to overcome situations. Stephen Fulton that night, he looked like some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He said Philly always losing to Texas in boxing. Yo, give me some examples, bro. Give me some examples. I want to see if Ted Mizzou can turn things around. Man, he got a good opportunity. He facing Velasquez, who was kind of unheard of a little bit, but I seen him. He's a solid puncher. He's tall too. Let's see. You know, if he can't beat this kid Velasquez, it's a wrap for him. Yeah, bro. What the fuck was that? Dude seemed like he didn't. That's what I'm saying. J Rock and Charlo. Okay, I remember that. That was okay. Charlo. So Charlo. Okay. Charlo from Texas for by your mindset. Some people say Louisiana, but I'm with you. That was one. I remember that one. Uh, who you had? Who had a more underwhelming performance? Fulton for sure. Fulton, Fulton for sure. Because he didn't even look. Brian Norman was always going to struggle with that style. And Fulton was going to always struggle with that style with Shaq Foster. The difference is Fulton didn't try. Norman did. Norman tried down the stretch. But Haney disarmed him so much, it didn't really look like shit. But because I thought Norman won like 3 rounds in a row in the back half of that fight. I can't say the same for Fulton. So I'm gonna say Fulton was definitely underwhelming. The corner was a mess. I didn't know who was the lead trainer. I was like, I tweeted out that night. I was like, bruh, put Boots in the corner. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like 10 people talking at one time. Bozy was talking. There was another dude wiping his nose was talking. Then the other dude on the other side that tried to get in the ring, he was talking. There was like three voices, and none of them motherfuckers was making no sense to me because Fulton went out there and just did whatever. But his fit was nice. I guess him having a nice fit, thinking like he was hanging out on the block with them Timbs on. I guess that was the saving grace. I think it's chin shot. Spence and Danny. Okay. Spence and Danny. Yeah. Spence beat him pretty easy. Philly up in the score and Boots get that Virgil fight. Okay. I like Boots in that fight too, but Virgil is a beast. I had Fulton at heart, but my parlay said Foster. There you go. There you go. The tight ass Braves didn't have Scooter either. He's tried, he couldn't do nothing. It was Shock's night. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Shock put on a great performance. You know what I'm saying? He put on a great performance, and it's crazy. He said getting that work with Shoo Shoo. Yeah, I seen that. It's crazy because the first two rounds, Shock fought. He fought regular, orthodox, and he was boxing well. And then when he switched to southpaw, I heard somebody in Fulton's corner say, "Oh, okay, you the southpaw killer. We good, southpaw killer." And for the next 7 rounds, it was it was easy money for Shock. And then Shock switched back to orthodox, and Fulton still didn't know what to do. So I don't know. I want to know what was their game plan. You know, because it's crazy. Look. When media is interviewing these fighters, there's a couple of things they hate that media asks. How you feeling? How was your training camp? Everything good? And they be like, yeah. Even if it's fucked up, they're gonna say, yeah, it's good. Man, that's a dumb question. You know, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I've been 8 weeks in the camp. I'm ready. But then we go see them fight, and we be like, was you ready? You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't fight like you was ready. Or like, man, tell me some things that Foster do that you can capitalize on. Man, I ain't giving away my game plan. And then they go out there and have a trash game plan. You like, nobody asked them. So, what was the game plan again? Because you didn't want to tell us before. So, at this point, you might as well tell us because you didn't go execute that shit. But they be getting mad when they get those questions, bro. Nah, as boxing fans that's committed, that's going to support, we want to know what it is. I rather you tell me the truth instead of like lie. You know what I'm saying? Like when Mr. Gary Russell said that fight week against Max Sayo and said, bro, I hurt my shoulder. And then in the fight, first round, shoulder popped out. And he fought the rest of the fight. So him telling me, bro, I hurt my shoulder, that tells me where I need to put my money in. I'm picking Max Sayo, even though I thought, shit, Gary damn near won that fight. But no, these fighters a lot to us. Either if you hurt to the point where you can't perform at your best, pull out, whatever. I get it. It's a lot of money on the table, but these fighters be lying. Like you don't got like this. Don't give me the generic answer, man. You guys gonna see on fight night. I take that because you didn't commit, you didn't overcommit. You just said some blanket ass statement. Okay, all right, I'm with you. But if you say, man, I'm gonna beat him up, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna stop him, and then you go out there and put on some bullshit, you know, when we look at you crazy, you feel some type of way, and we paying for it. So yeah, it is what it is. Oh yeah, they was poised, and look, the night before, his trainer was in Florida with Austin Trout at that bare knuckle fighting on that Friday. So he got in late. You know what I'm saying? And they had a great presence in that corner. Real good stuff. So Matisse is all clear. Yeah, he cleared. He both of his samples came back positive, but it was underneath the threshold. For me, I'm like, why they even report it? Like, look, in the army, right? In the military, army, navy, whatever, right? When you test positive, right, it's a certain limit you got to hit. So for marijuana, it's 15 nanograms. So if you test positive and you come back, well, if you pop and the lab sees that you pop for like 10 nanograms of marijuana. You didn't hit that threshold. They'll test it 3 times to make sure it's accurate. And then they won't even report it back as positive. it would report back as negative because he didn't reach the 15 nanograms. Anything above 15, then they report it as positive. So if he didn't hit the threshold, why even report it anyway? Because now he got that monkey on his back that he'll never be able to get off because he got a body on his resume. So nobody, no matter what he do or say, and how much tough talk he's speaking, and that should be wild. And when he was talking about Chris Algieri, in the back of our minds as boxing fans, you tested positive because we thinking like, bro, a clean athlete wouldn't even have nothing in his system, contaminated or not. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how we think. We always gonna think the worst when you test positive because people can get killed. People getting killed on a regular in this boxing game without PEDs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a bad look, but they letting it go. It look like Fulton just had a fat camp. He didn't really train. Uh, one of my talking points about that whole card was who which fighter will deal with the postponements the best. Because Fulton and Foster is supposed to happen in June, supposed to happen in August, supposed to happen October the 25th. So they had 3 postponements. So a lot of stops and starts and stops and starts, right? And if you already trying to cut weight from 164 to 130, I'm pretty sure you're right, he probably had a fat camp. You know what I'm saying? So the game plan was just lose the weight. So that goes back to the trainer of the year talk. How you trainer of the year and you can't get that right, or not telling him, bro, let's just pull out. You're not gonna make the weight. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's being more honest. I'd rather you be honest to me than lie to me. You know what I'm saying? Don't tease me and say I'm nice and I'm not. Now I'll pull it to the side and say, bro, nah, bro, you on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I like my friends like that. Yeah, I got Boots as well. He's going to end the streak against Texas. Yes, sir. Yes, man. I don't believe injury pullouts. Now look at Dan the Bar and Joseph Parker. I believe them sometimes. It depends on the situation. It has been a lot of them that they'll pull out for a better fight or a better situation. He wasn't sick. He said, "Yeah, what's the Dave Father? What's good with you, bro? Why they do that? Which part? I think I missed it. My talking point. Let me know if you're still in the building. What you was talking about? Why they do that? He lose the belt. Cool. No promoter would want to lay on the show. Can't trust him. You talking about Matisse? Yeah, Matisse. Yeah, I mean he got cleared, but he always gonna have that over his head. Missing, even though you clear your name, people still gonna hold that against you. So that was 6 months. That giving messed up Fulton too. Man, bro, I think I don't know. Maybe so. That's crazy though. You think Shakur Lopez, Shakur TF will be a chess match or what? I think it's gonna be a little bit of both. I think honestly, I think whoever kind of pressed the issue is gonna win. That's what I think. I think his hand will hold it, but I don't think it's gonna be like a high output type of fight though. Like if it was a high output fight, bro, I would probably rock with that logic. Well, his hand can't hurt anyway. Just picking up a loaf of bread, I guess. But I'm just saying, if it was okay, compared to the styles, Teofimo don't really throw a lot of punches. He's a counter puncher, an athletic counter puncher. So I would guess that Shakur head will hurt more against a guy like Zepeda who's going to make you work than Teofimo, who is kind of just going to box and counterpunch and not really pressure you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, he had a third round KO body shot. Yep, back in business. So I think it will be a high level chess game. But I think Shakur is the pressure fighter in that between the two. This is why I tell you, Shakur is better with cutting out the ring than Teofimo. Teofimo kind of lunges when he try to cut the ring off. He be jumping. He be leaving his feet trying to get to you. You know what I'm saying? If you moving, he he's gonna get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So he'd rather you come to him. But Shakur, so he's good with his defense where he can walk to him and kind of get those rounds and seem as the aggressor. You know, so I actually think he's a better pressure fighter. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I think that role's gonna change in that fight a couple of times. I think we can see Teofimo trying to be a pressure guy, and then I have to see it switching back and forth. Steph in the building. What's good with you? Salute. You've been talking to Floyd. The hands are doing better. You seen the pain. Oh, he's been talking to Floyd. I mean, yeah, that's good. That's good though that he's getting help for the hands because those is money makers. But I don't know if I mean anything can happen in the fight, but I don't think Teofimo is throwing that many punches that's going to make Shakur so active where he have to defend himself so much. I can see him getting caught with counter shots where he's quicker than Shakur, but like overwhelming him with volume. I don't see that type of fight. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope so. Hold on, I think I missed this. He's going to carefully matchmake from this point on due to his hands. He knows Tio isn't a guy who will push the pace. Maybe that's a good point. But Tio is a big name, and he's the number one guy at 140, so that's a hell of a matchmaker. I mean, how many pressure fighters, like Pitbull Cruz is a pressure fighter. Who else is like a real pressure fighter that's going to go crazy on Shakur? Well, Matisse. Oh, yeah, that might be a bad matchup. Well, that's a tough matchup for Shakur, I think. He said he aggravated. Man, I don't know, bro. I ain't heard that he retired. Last I heard of him, he was helping Devin and Camp. excuse me, for Brian Norman. But yeah, he should be on one of these Golden Boy cards. Do you think Turkey is talking about Devin for the big fight? Yeah, I do think so. I do think so. Yep, I seen that too. Oh, okay, y'all talk to each other. I just can't get over how Sandor ate. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. Man, people are just overlooking that fight. Like he did drop Teofimo twice with a check right hook. That he ain't. I don't think he was like running like that. He was just moving. Just when he come, he just move that way or move that way. Uh, and peep game, Sandor Martin wasn't noted as a puncher, and he should have got credit for 2 knockdowns against Shakur. So a lot of people disregard that fight. But if I'm Shakur's camp, I'm watch. That's like the fight that I'm really paying attention to. Ortiz too, but I don't know how they do it, but I'm pretty sure they're watching everything. But that Sandor Martin fight, key in on that because Sandor Martin he wasn't really doing nothing crazy. He was letting that shit come to him, and he was counter punching real good. I still need to talk myself into the fight between them two. Um, which fight? I think I'm I don't know. I think with two big names in the game, I think it's easy to get talked into. Unless you just don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Then that's the one thing. But to me, it's easy money. Two big names. Oh yeah, we got to see it. Devin and Shakur does feel like within the last two kings. Bro, that'd be dope. Those guys been circling each other for years. If they can make it happen, let's get it. Turkey been cool with Devin and Wilder since the beginning. I did think T.O. beat Sandor. Yeah, I thought he did too. Why do you think Usyk wants to fight Wilder? He came out of nowhere and surprised me because that's the last name that he haven't fought that's in his era. So just to get that name on your resume. So kind of like on some Lance Lewis type shit when he fought Mike Tyson. He done beat everybody in the division. Tua, Holyfield, Mercer, Razor Ruddock. Who else? Oliver McCall got that payback. Michael Grant. So he beat everybody. The only name that he didn't beat was Tyson. So it's kind of similar to that. And that's a big fight too. That's like the biggest fight other than because really we don't want to see no more rematches with AJ, Fury, or Dubois for Usyk. So if you look at the landscape of heavyweight division, who is the biggest names after those guys? And Wilder is a bigger name than Dubois. So really, if you look at the heavyweight division, the three biggest names still is AJ, Fury, and Wilder. So for that business mindset, I think that's probably why. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion. You think we'll get a big fight soon in Southern California, Las Vegas soon? Uh, yeah, yeah. I think probably the biggest fight that can come to Vegas in the near future is Boots versus Virgil in March 28th. Southern California, I'm not sure. It's a little bit expensive, but we got some fights, and check your calendar, or lock in your calendar for February the 13th in Anaheim. Golden Boy should have a card there. Golden Boy has a card in Indio at the new facility they got out there. Um, January the 16th. That's Southern California for you. I don't know if it's gonna be like big time fights though, per se, but it is some fights to go to. But the biggest fight in Vegas will probably be Boots and Virgil for sure. We need that. Yeah, yeah, I still got it. I think that would be the biggest. That would be the biggest one. But as far as like just fights, I mean, shit, it's fights like almost every weekend in Southern California. If it's just like going to fights, it's probably gonna slow down because the holiday season coming up. So after this week, then because like we got a card in LA tomorrow, we got a card in LA tonight and tomorrow. Jaleel Hackett fighting in LA tonight, and then tomorrow we got Badu Jack. So, but after that, because the holidays, it's nothing gonna be popping like that. It's gonna kick up next year, so should be good. Yeah, just real quick, I just want to talk about that. Talk about this before I close. We got Jaleel Hackett coming up tonight. He's on this card right here. It's a bash boxing card. It's gonna be in LA, so you guys can catch it. Let me see. Let me pull up my shit. It's on my schedule on my website. It's starfund.stream. I'm gonna put the link in the chat if you guys want to order it. If you're interested, I ain't telling nobody to order that shit because that shit like $35, and they ain't really promoting. That's another thing too with me. If you ain't really promoting your fight and that shit on pay per view, bro, I ain't messing with it. I'm gonna be honest. UC Badu wants job. Yeah, they're locked in. So real quick inside shit about that, right? The promoters, yeah, Troy Nash on that card. Yep, yep. The promoters of Badu's card tomorrow. Let me pull it up. So the promoters of this card, Steve Bash, right? He also is a front promoter for Turkey. He did the cards during the fight week of Canelo Crawford. If you remember Jaleel Hackett fought on that Thursday. They had a card during the open workout. So if you remember that was Steve Bash. So he working with Turkey, and Turkey put on the card for Canelo Crawford, of course. So Steve Bash won the purse bid for Badu Jack versus Noel McCann for this fight tomorrow. So there's your pieces right there. Jabataya, of course, he's a Turkey guy, right? He already been mentioned that he gonna fight the winner. sometime next year, probably like May or April. I mean May or June. And then another key thing that happened, the WBC they ordered for the winner, they got a voluntary defense. Whoever wins, they don't have a mandatory, they have a voluntary. So that's opened up the door for the winner of this fight to fight Jai Bataya. So there's your pieces right there. So there you go. I think that may answer your question. I think that's next, bro. I think that's next. So we're gonna see. But you do have that card. You also have uh the box lab show. So y'all stay tapped into my community tab. So tomorrow I'm gonna drop some links, right, for you guys to tap in. So we got this one. This is gonna be on YouTube. I'm gonna drop the link tomorrow. Also this one from the Dominican Republic. We got the return of Eric Rosa and Edward De Los Santos. Look, it's crazy. Yo, we was talking about Edwin De Los Santos and everybody scared to fight him, but ain't nobody talking about him coming back except for this one. Unless somebody else. If somebody else is talking about Edwin De Los Santos coming back this weekend and been talking about it a lot, or at least mention it more than often, let me know so I can go tap in and say salute to them. Because I ain't heard nobody. But when it comes to say that Shakur ducked De Los Santos and he's the boogeyman, man, we going crazy. Keyshawn ducked him. We going crazy. We ain't even hear from De Los Santos. Like, it's like this. Boxing fans will use these fighters to push their narrative against their ops, right? So if their favorite fighter has an op, they'll use a fighter to push on them, right? And then once they do, their narrative pushing, they'll just forget about the fighter. They don't follow up with him. They don't know when he's fighting. They don't know who his promoter, who his manager. They don't know shit. All they know is he ducked De Los Santos. That's just funny as hell. But my thing is like this though. I like to follow up and see, but I don't do that shit, right? I don't be like, he ducked this, whatever. Use another fighter against another one. I'm just saying, I just like to stay informed with everybody. It's just funny that way. They building up De Los Santos, but they don't know when he fighting. And if they do know, they ain't talking about that shit. They say, word up. We with it. I hope we get more of those going forward. The ring, underzone. Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, I was there for that shit was dope. It was nice. That shit was like a 90s hip hop concert up in there. But I'm gonna drop a link to this on my community tab tomorrow. This gonna be on YouTube. This another fight card. This for the world title, IBF world title at 118 pounds. So we got fights tomorrow that we definitely gonna tap into. Luis Alberto Lopez is fighting tomorrow too. So if I get a link for him, I'm gonna drop that. Marco Verde is fighting in Mexico tomorrow against Obekwe. Same thing. And then of course, Matchroom got their card. So in Stockton, California, with Pacheco and Sajo, which should be a pretty good fight. So yeah, we got a lot of boxing too, y'all. So make sure y'all tap in. De Los Santos sound like he wanted to fight Keyshawn because he fired. Yeah, I heard about that. But Samson got his bread, and then he split with Samson. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is though. But it's crazy though. Look, be honest, y'all, and y'all be in these YouTube streets every day, probably more than some of the content creators. We only really come on when it's time to do our show. I'm speaking for myself. Maybe everybody else is around, but when the last time you heard from De Los Santos? Since June. Since that shit happened, since Keyshawn blew up his city. When have we heard from De Los Santos since? Anybody can put that in the chat if y'all know. The last time I heard from him was when he signed with Brian Norman's manager, and that was like in August. They did an event in San Antonio at this small show where they had all of their fighters. This was like right after they announced Norman and Haney. They had a long ass time before that fight happened. So yeah, ain't nobody really talked about it. He said not for a minute, waste the whole camp. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I was hoping for De Los Santos to get back a little quicker than December. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, bro, that those camps ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking maybe De Los Santos can get back like in the summer just to, you know, punch on something. But yeah. Did you hear Key split with BNB? Interesting to see how he looks on the Wally Moses and the crew. Excuse me. Yeah, I saw that. Um, he said he deleted his whole team. Um, I mean, shit. I don't know the circumstances behind it, but I mean, the what he did in June, I'm not even surprised if they did split over that. So that was on some bullshit. What Keyshawn was doing. He was out of control. Like it would have made more sense for him not to even come to that event. You know what I'm saying? That's I know his brother was fighting and all that shit, but excuse me, he should have just watched that shit in the skybox. But I don't know. I don't know. I think Keyshawn is a great talent though, and I think you know with Wiley can get him right, because he's a natural guy. He's got a lot of talent, so I think he'll be good. But I'm not surprised. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised. All his brothers got the X, got fired, and it looked like Top Rank was put him on the shelf. So it looked like he linking up with James Prince. So we'll see what comes from that. Frank Warren said he was offered De Los Santos before he accepted Keyshawn fight. That'd be an interesting fight too. The interest with the popcorn was a terrible look. Yeah, man, he was out of control that night. I mean, just the optics of it, like, bro, I'm pretty sure, like, I don't really know, like, I would expect that Crawford, Red, all those dudes was like, yo, bro, chill, yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But I don't think you could have told Keyshawn shit that night. Look, he got his baby out there in the mix. If your baby in the mix while you trying to dump on somebody, you ain't listen to nobody. That shit's gone. You ain't listen to nobody. If you gonna put your baby in harm's way, because anything could have happened. Could have been running through the cut, knocked him over, split his lip, bust his head. Anything could have happened, right? God forbid, right? But for you to have a lack of, you know, no sense of urgency right there, you won't listen to nobody that night. Ain't no way. You ain't nobody that got kids gonna put their babies in harm's way for nobody. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna go do your dirt, you gonna make sure the kids is somewhere safe that they ain't gotta hear about it or be around it. You know what I'm saying? So he won't listen to nobody that night. He won't listen to his mama, his lady, his brothers, his sisters, nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even surprised just from the outside looking in, I'm not even surprised. Top Rank ain't fucking with him. Bo McDoom was like, bro, you need to tighten up or we ain't messing with you. So I guess that's what it was. But Bo Mac ain't come out and try to blast him though. He's just like no comment. Let the young man live. If that's what he can go ahead and say what he need to say, but I'm not gonna speak on it. So that's like the grown man way to address that. Because all that other shit was crazy. Because look, he said he deleted his team. Coaches come and go, right? But what struck me was the guy that handles Crawford's business, Ismail Hinston. That's the main guy that been getting Crawford all his deals since he left Top Rank. He was also an advisor for DB3 and Keyshawn Davis. So I remember him said they had a handshake agreement. So when he said he deleted everything, that means he gone too. You know what I'm saying? So that was a key part because I don't think he would have left uh, Ish Henson to go to Jay Prince if their business won't. You know what I'm saying? Because he locked in with Turkey. Ish Henson actually got Keyshawn that deal to be the ring ambassador. If y'all guys remember that, so it is what it is. Shit happens all the time. But hopefully he can come back with his new team and get active because he took a crazy PR hit. Like I don't know. Now this can be a category this year. Who had the worst 2025, bro? Like Keyshawn got to be up there. Keyshawn and Tank. Tank is in there too. I know that people love some Tank, but what the bro? He had a bad year. Like real talk. Like even as a fan and a guy that like to see him fight and shit, I'm like, yo, bro, Tank. That motherfucker. Nobody like real talk. Ain't nobody talking about Tank. People just inserting Tank into shit. You know what I'm saying? Crawford give away the WBC title or get stripped. Man, see, Tank was the one that started the whole shit. He not even got nothing to do with this. He didn't take it that far. He didn't explain why. He just said, I ain't fighting Kambosos. Keep your belts. I beat his ass though. You know what I'm saying? So that's different. But he get inserted in conversations that don't even got nothing to do with him. Because he don't got nothing shaking right now. You know what I'm saying? Even with the Lamont Roche fight, right? The Lamont Roche fight, he was supposed to wash him based on what everybody was saying. He was supposed to wash him. And he fought to a draw, right? But the whole thing behind it was like, I was going to call out somebody else that came in my locker room. I was going to do this. And then he didn't take the rematch with Lamont Roche. Went on to sign for the fight Tank. That was the original plan anyway, so him can get his bread and take some time off. Then he's still in more domestic situations. Whether he did it or not, this him being in a situation is crazy. No accountability from his team. None of them dudes, they be on these podcasts every other day. Cap and Kenny be on this bitch every other day. No accountability. You know what I'm saying? Straight up lying. Then his fans and supporters, so called, they running with everything Cap and Kenny say. You know what I'm saying? And Tank said, fuck y'all and whatever. Bro, that shit is like his year was crazy. Keyshawn destroyed his shit too. He had the mayor out. AI came to the game. The fight. Mike Vick was like, man, fuck all that. He tripping, bro. He had the whole VA come off of him, and he destroyed it. Got his brothers fired. He messed around, got fired, lost his whole team. So it's like them two right there. It might be somebody else too, but I don't know. It's a sad face. Said no accountability. Yeah, no accountability. But like I said, I'd rather have somebody on my team that's gonna cuss me out every day and tell me about myself than let me. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's what it is. That's my time. Salute to everybody coming through the building. I appreciate you guys coming through. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. Salute to the playback, and I'm gone.